was a very hard-fought win tonight. We didn't play perfect, that's for sure. But I was very proud of our fight. And this team keeps overcoming adversity. And it's been a joy to watch, and very proud of them. We just got to keep going forward the way we are. But tonight's game was a great testament, again, of things not going our way all the time, but just continuing to stay positive and serve each other throughout the whole game to just keep fighting to get the win. And I'm really proud of it.
This question is for Anna. If my math is correct, this would be your 4th championship game. You've never not been in an NEC championship game. I guess what's it like for you to be able to, compete for your 2nd straight championship?
I mean, it's amazing. 4 years, 4 championship games. I can't even put it into words what it means. All the hard work that we did all season, preseason, 4 years for me and the rest of the seniors, it pays off. I mean, just competing for a championship title, it's unbelievable, and I'm very thankful for that, and I couldn't ask for anything more as a Colonial.
I guess this is for the 3rd quarter was the decisive quarter for you where you really put away. I guess what was the conversation like during halftime and what made you put away during that spread?
Well, I came in and I got after them a little bit because I thought we were not playing the kind of defense that we could play. Obviously, the total points scored is much more than we've been giving up lately. And, we're asking a lot of our players to go out there and play big minutes, give a lot of passion on defense every possession. But I expect it out of them now because I could see that they could do it when they really want it. And, we had to get into there and start getting stops. And we hit some shots, that's for sure, that pulled away. But we also made some great defensive stops, caused some turnovers. And I could see that, the other side was getting tired as well. So at that point, that run came because we pushed forward, even though we were getting tired. And I thought that we were doing a better job of playing both ends of the floor during that run. And you're right, that was a big part of the game.
Charlie, for you, any difference feeling going into it now as the head coach as opposed to before?
No, being here for as many years as I have and being around these players as an associate head coach, the feeling is still there, the same. Coach Sal, my father, coaching with him for as long as I have, it was very special. I learned a ton. I learned a ton from being alongside him. And when we would go into those games, I knew he was expecting the best out of me. And I had to challenge myself as an associate head coach to really, call the game the same way that he would call the game and just kind of be connected. So, no, I think I've had some great experience at this. And, as much as we're so much different, we're a lot alike with our work ethic. And that's what I'm trying to instill in these guys. And they're doing a great job of listening and developing.
Offensively, what was going right for you? Because it seemed like they just throw it into you in the paint, and whether you got and ones or whatever, you were very productive on that end.
For me, on the offensive end, honestly, it's the same thing. I just gotta stay stable mentally and know that I have my team behind me. And if I make a mistake, then I have another opportunity to go back at it.
With the rest of the team struggling somewhat offensively, did you feel like you had to carry them somewhat, or?
Not at all. Honestly, it's the same every time. Whether we're up or down, I know I have to perform the same way.
Coach, they brought the game within 5 points in that 4th quarter after a 13-point lead. What did you guys change up in the second half of the 4th quarter to kind of finish off this game?
Well, we were getting lazy on some of the things they were doing, how we were guarding them. And we were having some miscommunications, and we worked on stuff so much this week to not have that happen. We cleaned up some of that stuff. Obviously they like to get in the lane, and they really like to touch your paint a lot. They really like to get into your paint with the ball handlers and play off of that a lot. We had some short closeouts and some things like that where they were getting some decent looks. They were getting too comfortable, and we needed to turn it up a little bit. I think that was a lot of what I was talking about, is that our intensity of what we were doing wasn't there. And it was a little bit short all game. But in the 3rd quarter, like you guys said, it was really part of us turning it back up into the pace that we could play at. And that was a lot of what we were fixing. You know, we were in the right spots. We just weren't willing to do the job as much as we could.
Any chance that Janae Brown returns for the championship game?
For sure. Yeah, for sure. Janae is showing her team, showing everybody at practice every day that she is working her butt off to get back. And I've never been so proud of somebody. She's rehabbing, and she's day to day. And, you know, every day when I come to practice, you know, I get the update of how she's doing, and she's been some great strides and progress. And, you know, I'm just praying for her. You know, I think that, you know, no matter what, she'll be ready to go as long as they give her the green light. She's ready to go any minute. They tell her she can go, she's going to go. So there is hope, and I never lose my faith.
Coach, there were a few number of charges in the second half for you guys for offensive fouls. Were you expecting that from your players?
Absolutely. Absolutely. That was one of the big things I talked about at halftime. I told them, I said, how many games have we played this year where we haven't taken one charge in the first half of a basketball game? And everybody, and they had no answer for that. Yeah, they just looked at me puzzled, like, wow. And it wasn't that we even took one. We didn't even attempt to take one. And I said that's a big part of our culture, is taking charges. And again, I'm very proud of them for responding. You know, this game is built on mistakes. You know, people forget that. They think they put a game plan together. You go out there, and a great coach gets a team to play perfect. Now, a great coach gets the team to play through mistakes, because you make them, and then you got to have the frame of mind to come back and get the next one. Throw a bad pass, we'll come back on defense and maybe do a good job of reading the next pass and shooting a gap and causing a turnover and go the other way. Don't play with frustration, play with smarts. And those charges in the second half, you know, I couldn't be prouder. I couldn't be prouder because they were definite charges, and we took them real hard. And, you know, maybe that's why, you know, we're always in the training room, but.
Is Megan Smith okay? I think she got hit in the jaw on one. Like,
yeah, she's tough. Yeah, her jaw is the hardest part of her body, so she's tough. They take them, and they understand how important it is. And I think that's a big part of not letting people get into your paint. If you're willing to take that charge and step in there and lunge. And I was very proud of them for responding after a bad first half with that.
When the game's going back and forth, you know, you'll make a shot, and then it seemed like they would come right back down and answer, and kind of the lead going up, going down. What's it take to kind of, I guess, stay in it mentally and kind of stay the course?
Yeah, well, you know, what else can you do but just go forward in the next play? You know, what else can you do? You know, go crazy. You know, just, you know, start throwing things. I mean, you just keep battling. You just say, how did they get that? How they scoring? You know, did somebody miss an assignment? Let's talk to them about it. You know, let's see if maybe what we're doing isn't the best way to defend this. You know, every day I'm searching to see if what we do needs to be refined. And sometimes in the middle of the game it does. You know, sometimes it can't be just now after the game going to the video and, you know, watching an NBA game and seeing how they defend things and getting ideas and stuff. And maybe it's got to be in the middle of the game sometimes, and that's what we're really doing. You know, I hold my staff accountable to that, and myself, that while things are going on in the court, we don't just get crazy. It's not all just about screaming at somebody and motivating them. It's about teaching them what they're doing wrong. You know, everybody on that court really wanted to win. You know, sometimes though when you're out there, you know, things don't go as planned, and you need some help, you need some guidance. And that's really what we're doing every time we have a miscue or they come back and get one. We're thinking about how they got it. Was it a great shot? Was it a tough shot? Did we force them to shoot over a contest? Or was it something they just got to the basket and made it real easy? That's really what we're thinking about every time.
Any other questions?
For the players, was this the ugliest win you guys have had all season, or have there been, I guess, tougher ones in terms of it not being like aesthetically beautiful, if that makes sense?
I mean, we had ugly wins, but a win is a win, and we gotta take it in the times and games. So, you know, really cares about if we won by 2, by 10, by 50. A win is a win.
Yeah, like Anna said, a win is a win. So, I mean, at the end of the day, we just got to pull through.